28th of April, 2021. How's it going, guys? We're going to do a walk in the park here. We got a little thunderstorm, I think, moving in here. Interesting. We brought one of our lightning strike Accurite today too, just to see. It's already detected 2 strikes within the area, but it didn't give an exact distance on it, so we'll see. We actually did see one coming back from lunch here. So we'll see if he'll. I put it in a little sandwich bag. We'll see if it can detect it through the plastic. I would imagine it probably can now. Get some of those skies up there. Clouds. Get lucky, it might just blow over. It's not too windy today, so I'm going to talk about something. We're going to talk about, we've talked about this before, about synchronicity, and heard about people seeing a 11-11, 7-11, 4-11. But I got thinking about something. What if a person, now this is something to ponder here a little bit, let's think about it a little bit. If a person had a clock, say several clocks in their house, but one of the clocks, say, were 10 minutes off. Now, if that person, say, would come into that room at certain times, certain instances, and see that, say, at 7-11 or 4-11 or 5-11, and it wasn't just what they thought they actually, after seeing it so many times, would think of just seeing it, but actually, say for example, say you drove from a restaurant back to your home, and you come in, and say the clock that was 10 minutes off said, say, like 1:11 p.m. Okay. And say you're with a person. And say then you have to go to, like, I don't know, say you have to go to like Walmart and maybe a grocery store, and you come back a couple hours later and say it said, say 3:11, and you both walked in at the same time. Now say you know, if you tried to time that and to right to the money, right to the time period, that'd be almost impossible. It could happen, but what would cause that? Now, what I got thinking about, when you talk about time and the way man created, you know, so we could keep track of things, the thing of this is, there's a problem with all this. Because if the person comes in at that time period and looks at the clock at that time period that's right at that 4:11 or 1:11, How is that possible? Well, there is a thought on all this. When we think about maybe like time travel, we talk about Einstein's theory a little bit here. And we also talk about, say, that one individual person, think of it like being in a bubble. And whatever is around that person at that time period, it'd be like if somebody was traveling through time and say it was going to take 24 hours to get there. But say 20 years would elapse in that time period, okay? But for you, your destination would only be 24 hours. So say if you're a guy, say you had to shave, you might have to shave after 24 hours time. But you wouldn't age 20 years, okay? I get thinking about this for a bit. Like I say, it's a lot to think about. But, you know, they talk about, if you look at the Einstein theory about being in a vacuum and how nothing except for that one individual, like, that's the only thing that it wouldn't be affected compared to everybody else. Is that what is happening? Now, what I'd like to know is if these people, the ones that do see the 11/11, 9/11, 7/11, whatever, if they took a clock and they advanced that clock, say 10 minutes, in one of their rooms, and for, say, like I say, it would have to be incidents, not like if they were just walking in there looking at that time, thinking they were at that time. But say they were cooking on the stove, caught something on fire, the fire alarm went off, and they ran into that room. And guess what? Say it was 9/11 in the morning. Okay, say they were cooking breakfast. Now think about that for an instant. I'm talking about instances like that. So what would connect all that? Now there's lots of other theories on all that. So, I don't know. I mean, there's biblical things that talk about this 11/11. Some believe it's angels, some believe it's other things entirely there. But I got also thinking about this too. They know that some of the satellites, they have to readjust for the time dilation, kind of like, because, you know, what they gave an example of kind of like if you had a big like trampoline and you had a basketball out in the center of that trampoline and it kind of sunk that trampoline down, and you had to say another object, say it was a baseball, out to the outside of it, and say you had a golf ball out to the side of it, and say you went to roll that in a straight line past that basketball, and say a way it was pulled down like that, it would kind of fling that golf ball out. Now they know this is real because supposedly they had detected a supernova, and they actually got to see it 4 different ways, is what I understand, because of the time it took to get around that. Now, the thing of it is, when they're talking about gravitational, it just went off, but it didn't go off all the way. It says relocate. So we've had another lightning strike. You guys heard it beep. If it has a fairly solid strike, it will tell how the distance, how far away it is, and it'll be a little red light that'll light up. So where was I at? Anyway, they actually got to see this from 4 different time periods, because it took a different amount of time to see it from 4 different directions. So, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting, but then I got thinking about how that would affect, how would magnetism affect if you were traveling through time and space. And if that individual person, it wouldn't have to be a person, it could be even an object, might not be affected, but everything else around it might be. Like I said, if the other people around age, say, like 20 years, and it was only a 24-hour trip for that person themselves. I don't know, I was just thinking about this. Just a little bit of thought on all of it. But still, it comes into play. Why the 1111? Why see it? They say synchronicity, but is it something else? See, it detected that lightning strike through the plastic bag at least. So, it can do that. Suspicious observers said basically a lightning detector wouldn't detect the lightning coming from the ground going upward. We bought it. I tell you why I bought them. I bought them because they were talking about the airplanes, talking about radiation. It went off again. Let's see if we can see. I'll take it out. It's not raining hardly at all, guys. These are not supposed to be waterproof. I don't know if they're water resistant. See it there? Okay. I'll just hold it like that so it doesn't get in the pocket. But anyway, they were talking about how much of in a lightning storm, how much radiation, I don't know if it would attract the radiation or how it would be produced actually, but it might not be good. And that was another reason I got it. Radiation is something to be concerned about. That's pretty good. It's detected like 4 strikes so far. Actually, when we come back from lunch here, we actually got to see when the lightning strike. We see it off the distance. They say, how far can you see on a clear day? Is it 40 miles? Well, you didn't answer. You said cool. I think it's 40 miles, is that? On a clear day. See, I thought about getting one of those, like those, one of those Talos, or whatever. I think it was Talos or something like that. It's pronounced. Because they actually they even mount them on the boats. They're probably waterproof, I'm sure. And I'd like to compare the two, see if they, how much difference there is between the two. It don't look as dark over there now as it did. Still a bit towards the northwest there. A lot of this streams up, comes up from the Gulf, come up through Oklahoma, through Texas, Oklahoma, and the rest come on up this way, seems like. Well, yeah, worm is, yeah. Dove. If he doesn't like the rain, you think?
Yeah.
A bunch of turtles are still sitting over there too. Yeah. That was cool. If you guys get a chance, don't forget to check out the real BP Earthwatch or BP Earthwatch, Mr. MBB333. They have regular websites too that you can go to, and they also are linked to the certain for like the weather or stuff like that, satellite imaging, all that and everything. Check them out. Not affiliated with any of them, but like I said, I try to get good information out there. Don't forget Suspicious Observer. It says, please relocate. Another. Right. But see, it only goes 25 miles or 24, 25 miles. So if it, that's all it can detect. But if it's a hard strike, it'll like that one time when it was storming, I showed you guys. It will definitely show the distance of the lightning itself. And so far, there's been, like I say, now 5 strikes now, lightning strikes so far on all of it. So, interesting stuff.
So I just finished working, and then we always have the plan to go.
Weather is fascinating though, guys. I don't know who wouldn't want to be intrigued by it. I still never forget that. Like I say, that tornado came overhead. It was just up in the air. That was just when I was a small kid. But I always had to go look and watch. But the pressure, actually, I could not get over. I remember the house and I remember the windows, actually, the glass flexing though. I do remember that. Well guys, that's a pretty good walk. I won't say if you get a chance, get out today because there's lightning bouncing around. But anyway, have a good one.